So hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna develop another solutions for another type of problem that we face today, and this obviously is having in count the usage of mental models. And you believe that you can still develop solutions for problems that you can have that much of technical expertise and years of study, but you just by looking these concepts, these models, you can already using them combined to create solutions that are complex enough so to already be a good problem, a good solver so for the problem that you're facing. And then so with that in count, what we can say is that what's going to be the problem today is going to be the fanaticism. So what do you have to understand? Fanaticism is the irrational and excessive attachment to a cause, belief, or ideology, often leading to intolerance, polarization, and sometimes violence. And in religion, politics, sports, or any identity-based system. And then so with that understood, so what do we have still to talk? We have in order to solve problems, have to first spend a bit of time understanding as much as better as possible. So what's the real problem that we're facing? And then obviously starting by applying the first principles thinking. So what is fanaticism at its core? So it's a form of identity overdrive. Beliefs become part of the self. It's driven by emotional needs like certainty, belonging, and purpose, and it resists this confirmation and punishes doubt. So, the application of knowing it is always breaking it down. What need is being met by fanatic behavior and offer alternative paths to fulfill that need without extremism. Second, the map is not territory, so people's beliefs are not reality, just models of faith. So, what's the application of knowing it? So, promote intellectual humility will obviously something that makes you just so feel less attachment towards the things that you have got and you have grasped during your time, and understand that having this humility that you can learn new things that are better than your current position makes you don't have that much of attachment in ideologies that are not good. And obviously this by working in discouraging that having these outdated type of ideologies and the bad ones in terms of the consequences that they will come to the people, and encourage people to explore how others see the world. So this kind of creating incentives to people to accept and to understand that exists other ways to act. And obviously, as much more people are getting used with having and not being in bubbles, that they just see people with their opinion, as much they have contact with other ones, much they perceive so as much different as the other ones can be by incorporating me, and I accept it better because it's something that's less strange if I'm just in a bubble and that I see just in groups that people have the same opinion as me. It tends to be something better because you, in order to have tolerance, you it's like a skill you need to develop, and you develop by practicing. And how you have tolerance is by dealing with situation that kind of triggers the need to have tolerance. That's so you're dealing with people that have different opinions with you, different ways to act. And then so you have the skill if you train it in the field that the skill can drive. And so tolerance as in count you having to get relationships with other people that are different than you. Three, second order thinking. And then what? What are the consequences of these beliefs? What second order thinking tends us to look? But then, so what's the application of knowing it? Help fanatics explore long term outcomes of their views and action is something that's good. And for society, anticipate backlash, radicalization, or alienation when fighting extremism with force. Four, the incentives, the most fundamental mental model in psychology, what behaviors are being rewarded. So, what are the actions that you see being done today is based in incentive. You do something because you feel incentivized in doing it. And then, so what's the application of knowing it is recognize that status, emotional reward, or social belonging may be reinforcing fantasy. And so, how to cut away these incentives so the people to practice this action that you don't like, redirect incentives toward curiosity, dialogue, and shared goals. So it's where it basically is rearranging the system in order so the people not feeling encouraged so to practice fanaticism. And five, confirmation B seems to be important in that case. So people seek out what proves them right. And then was the application of knowing it. Teach how to challenge one's own assumptions and promote environments that reward doubt and disagreement with respect. As much as I've said, it's just if you represent that environment, that makes some people to have like a need to forge to develop that skill. Six, the Dunning-Kruger effect. So low knowledge can produce high confidence. And what's so the application by knowing this? So push for deep education, not just surface level slogans. Something that we see a lot. People just have like they just like they just know like one two phrases about the movement that they are protesting, and they don't have like they don't go deep because what? Because going deep requires you energy, and as I've said, you're made to always trying to a bit of avoid putting effort in the majority of times. We avoid it. We like more to save it. We like things to go as much simple as possible. But sometimes if you don't develop so this success, people so becomes too much. They become so like a bit of people that they are not that much functional because they just like know what's it's in the what is the basics, and they can't argue which, so if they don't have like this deep intellectual type of development, they as well cannot argue, and if I cannot argue as well, I cannot produce tolerance, because tolerance comes with being able to express, to understanding other one. If I have not developed enough, I don't have the ability to express me, neither I have the ability to interpret the other one. And normally so we become closer from the animals that they tend to be more aggressive towards each other. And obviously, so encourage people to become learners, not preachers, is something that's positive. Seven, the tragedy of commons. Individual gain can damage collective well-being. So individuals, by looking for the individual gains, they obviously doing by everyone's in society can generate can so damage the collective well-being that we as society we tend to want to seek. And then so by knowing this, what so is the application? Is that fanatic behavior may give personal people so may give people personal meaning while harming social harmony. So it's something that everyone gets that it's true. But with that, we have still and I have yet another one that can be important, that circle of competence. So know what you actually understand, what's the application. So by knowing what you actually understand, and normally so you cut so you know where you can act confidently, where you cannot, where you're not. So helps and contributes for that intellectual type of humility that we already have talked. But then so what's the application of this circle of competence? Is that you can train people to recognize when they're out of their depth, and then so they become more, they have more humility if they understand if they have so expertise in the field or not, and make it okay to say I don't know, which so makes people feel and don't have like a need to always be extreme. So why not people adopt a neutral position if they don't know the thing, instead of just like adopting positions without knowing good about the content that they're protecting. So I have some extra ones that we can talk about, a bit of skin in the game. So those who promote ideas should bear their consequence, because this means that these ideas are more close to be something that benefits the population at all, instead of just so being something that someone makes it decision maker, and because he's not going to suffer with the consequences, it doesn't produce like that much of good work, that much of good type of policy. And then so what's the application of knowing that? So we're gonna try to make the people that promote ideas bear their consequences. So what's the application for that? Hold extremists accountable for the outcomes of their rhetoric, and encourage public figures to advocate for balance and nuance or risk losing credibility. So seems to be something that can work. So just like looking for 9 of the mental models of like the almost 10,000 that exist, you can already see that you can by mixing the idea of each one, you can already so looking for solutions for their problems, looking for so how these type of the meanings, the patterns that seems that have worked in the past, and we have to think about the whole reality works, that you can so use it to understand the problems that you face today, and obviously to create solutions for that same problem. So with that much more, without that much more to say, Just thank you, and I hope to see so in other videos this channel is about to produce. Don't forget to subscribe and put a like if you have liked the video. So see you in the next one.